everyone, and welcome to Beyond the Northern Wall, your weekly live stream talk show with me, one of your co-hosts, Kayla Malari. My other co-host is not here, my sister, Tiffany Ray Malari, because she's pregnant. And she needs to focus on being pregnant. So, today, you have me as your host, but we have the wonderful, the powerhouse, the original comrade turned corpsman, Lo-Fi, who's literally right here. This is where it looks like we're far away. Ignore the chaos in the background. Clearly, the office needs to be fixed. Anyways. What is that sound?
It's her watching us.
Oh, I was like, what is that? It's Chuck is here. We're also having a scary movie night and watch her after this, so there's probably gonna be corpsmen just streaming in. I don't know if they might pop in behind Lo-Fi. I don't put that above them, but anyways. So we are starting off the series of interviewing. There, see, like a ghost. We're starting a series of interviewing corpsmen with Lo-Fi. Lo-Fi, I'm not gonna. Lo-Fi, give them your slate. So tell us your name, when you started dancing.
Oh God, okay.
How old you are when you started dancing.
Okay.
And the year that you started core.
Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Fi Schaefer, a code name Lo-Fi Wi-Fi.
I was gonna say, your name's not Fi Schaefer.
My full name is Fi Schaefer. I go by Lo-Fi. I started dancing when I was 3 years old, and I joined core. It was summer of 2022.
22.
Oh my God, yeah, August
so
20
years ago.
Yeah, 2 years.
Remember when I realized you're gonna be a junior?
Oh yeah.
And I was like, no, you're not.
Dude, it boggled my mind, especially seeing you guys shoot at Chapman.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, what?
For 2022. Because you came in after we did our photo shoot at Chapman. Crazy. So, for those who don't know, long ago, the Four Nations lived in harmony. And we started core way back in the nethers of the 2010s. In 2014, did you find us in 2014? No, 15. What's the first video you saw of core?
Okay, so this is what's crazy, okay? So I saw your OG Attack on Titan Ultimate Brawl video, and I didn't know who you guys were. I thought you guys were so cool. And so I rewatched that video, and I didn't know who you were. And then finally, like when I was old enough to comprehend,
old enough to comprehend.
A little bit more old enough to comprehend. She was online
yet, guys.
And I was like, oh, I just look up the survey core, and that's then like it was like a year after I found that video. So they like 214, yeah, like 214, 2015.
The fact that you saw the original AOT performance, so everyone knows the Talk Dirty one that was done at Anime Expo Masquerade halftime. However, the first time we did Attack on Titan was at Ultimate Brawl 2014, which was like 3 months prior to Anime Expo, 3 or 4 months prior. And we did it at a hip-hop dance competition. So not a cosplay venue at all. Not for that. Everyone's wearing, this is like an actual competition within the collegiate hip-hop scene in Southern California. And we decided we're going to build a wall and dress up as anime characters, full send, and we're going to have a Titan peek over the top. That's what we're going to take to a hip-hop competition. That's the video she saw. That's pretty crazy.
Oh my God.
So then, for years after that, Lo-Fi has been an active comrade and then patron from like the get-go, like the OG. We watched her do her dance videos in her studio. We watched her do her covers. We were fans of Lo-Fi as core just as much as she was of us. Like, we were invested. Then, tell us the journey of you journeying from across. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
So I'm originally from East Coast. I'm from like Virginia, 30 minutes away from Washington, D.C.
I don't know if that means anything to anyone, but it means something to me.
Oh my God, no, it's crazy. So I like never thought I would be here like encore and stuff. But one summer I was like, oh, I'm looking at colleges I'm gonna go look at colleges in California. Oh, what do you mean? I'm gonna go look at colleges when Cora's performing at I think it was WonderCon first. Yeah, at WonderCon, and I saw your Marvel Bombshells. The
Oh, DC Bombshells?
DC Bombshells.
What? Did not know.
And I was like, and it was my first time finally seeing them in person, and I was fangirling so hard. And then I came later to look at more colleges, and that's when they had their workshops for
Oh, yes, that was the first time we actually saw you in person.
Yeah.
Was that at the old studio?
That was at the old studio.
Studio Exchange, where it was like the big, it was like a photo studio kind of. Was it that one?
It was whatever we started our contract.
Oh, so old ADBA.
Yeah, ODB. Yeah. That was it was the workshops where we did like the you guys. I wasn't part of this one when you did Squid Game. You did Rude Boy.
Oh yes.
You did, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That seems like 1,000 years ago. It wasn't that long ago. That was like, yeah, that was Panorama.
Yeah, and it was crazy because I met so many of like. And when I saw like the new roster for Core that year, I was like, I met so many of these at the workshop. So I was like, oh my god, that's awesome.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm here for college. I'm planning to be here after college, and so yeah, I'm getting used to Cali West Coast life here.
So I'm gonna tell you the story of Lo-Fi auditioning to be on Core. So we're holding auditions. This is post-pandemic. So we know like our audition, like the turnout is usually small just for safety, which is good, right? So we set up, we're at our old studio. There's like this big garage door that lifts up, and that's where we set the table. And people literally can like, it's like right into the parking lot. So a car can drive right up to the registration table. I'm working it and I'm standing up and we see a white car, this like SUV, pull up right to the front. And Urban sitting at the table, and I think Chuck sitting next to Urban. And out of this car comes Lo-Fi. And it doesn't register to me. I'm just excited that she's here. So I start to walk to her. I go, oh my gosh. And then I stop. And I freeze. Because it's taking a while for the gears. My excitement when I see people, as you know, when you guys give me good news, I get excited and nothing else is processing. So I'm excited to see her. And it's not dawning on me that this is audition day. She's dressed to dance. She has a form and a resume in her hand. And it's literally like, look at little, look at you, look into the sky. And I'm like, wait. And you just were like, you're making this really and you're like, and I said, oh my gosh, you're auditioning? And you said, yes. Okay, I'm going to tell you, so unprofessional and so unfair to anyone else. I literally was going to be like, you have to audition. You're on the crew. Because I got so excited. And I was like, I just was screaming and making noise. So excited. And that's how Lo-Fi joined the team. With shutting me down for like a good, I'm going to say 15 minutes. Good 15 minutes. I went out. I need to lower the fire on.
I know. I was like, whoo.
Go ahead and tell them your very first set. No. Before we get to the set, before we get to Core at all, tell us your dance journey. You started at 3. What have you trained in? What have you done?
Gotcha.
Where have you gone? How you got there?
Okay. So before I was 3, I was always kind of just dancing around the house. I'm adopted from China, so I would like dance for food. And my parents were like, okay, we're gonna put you in some dance lessons. And so from a very young age, I went into classical ballet, Russian, the Vaganova style. And I started from there, and I worked up, like, the next year we added, like, it's kids. It's, like, 4-year-old, 5-year-old jazz, lyrical. And then soon enough, my roster basically went kind of classical, dance studio competition studio route of, okay, as I'm growing up, I'm doing classical ballet, I am doing jazz, tap, hip-hop, contemporary, lyrical, modern, anything I can get my hands on, because I love the versatility and learning new styles, and dance at that point was just like my only like pastime and hobby that I really enjoyed. So yeah, so I have background in all of those: jazz, hip hop, Broadway heels, lyrical, modern jazz. I love them. But my favorite has got to be hip hop and some of the newer techniques that we refine encore, like whacking, housing. They're so much fun. But yeah, that's my dance background. I did a lot of different scholarships and intensives throughout the years. I was really in like the just kind of studio competitive scene, and went with it till the end of high school. And
we talked about this too, doing like the competitive convention scene and how it's so different.
It is.
It's really different for anyone who's like studio trained. It's good that you have that studio training, but doing those conventions and competitions, it gave us knowledge that I definitely still use. You definitely still use, but it is a different world. When you try to do anything professional, when you try to do anything, even just out here in Southern California. I remember when I came out here, I knew nothing of the dance scene down here in Southern California, and I was like, this is super insane. Had to learn how to do things professional, which Lo-Fi had to learn how to do things professional, because what do you do now?
I am now a parade dancer for Disneyland.
I just put myself in the face.
Yeah, no, we recently, like, just yesterday had a conversation about that difference, like, audition culture and etiquette.
Yes.
It's so, y'all, it's, like, you can tell when someone's, like, fresh out of competition, like, convention scene, because the etiquette with, like, actual, like, dance auditions, at least out here, compared to what we are told at conventions and competitions, is
so different. Little bullet points. Ask a question only if you have to. Don't just raise your hand. Don't just start talking. Pay attention. Pay attention. Don't move or make noise. All the choreographers like talking or casting. That seems normal to say, but people just aren't paying attention to casting directors or any of the choreographers that are working on audition. You will get so read to filth amongst the table if you aren't listening what number's called and where you're supposed to stand for the audition.
Oh my god. Yeah, even still when they go over, like, okay, remember, this number and this number, if you call this way, you have to stand here and here, and just seeing the amount of people just not know where they're going because they weren't
struggling.
listening.
Yeah.
And you can tell, like, on, like, the people who are, like, sitting at the table, they're like...
I know, and, like, there's some people you can tell you're, like, they're just nervous. This is their first time, and you can't learn until you do it.
Yeah.
Until you get through that nervousness, and then you'll get better the next time. And then some people they weren't paying attention. And I was like, that's why I always say, as like someone who's also a director but also has been a dancer and a performer, when you're in the dancer position, 2 feet on the ground, hands to your side, say nothing. Just listen with your whole face.
Tune in, listen.
Tune in.
Tune in.
Clock it. Just come with us on this journey, and we'll do great together.
Another huge thing that people need to stop doing in auditions, because they can't see you, that we are taught at especially conventions, is don't push to be up front. I've seen so many auditions, and I've like been to my own auditions where I've done this, because I was told to do this, where you have to be seen, so you have to be front and center, and you're basically, when you do that, you're in their face. They can't see the rest of your body. They're like
That's
like,
what they see, and people are like, they can't see. You're dancing with your body, not with your irises. So they need to see your body move, and they're like, oh my god, can you move out to the front of the... I had an audition, random tangent, I had an audition where granted she got their attention, the auditioners were, they were there the whole day, so they had food brought in, which is just, that's, as a person who's behind the table, don't eat when dancers are performing for you. That's just really awkward and weird. A little, like, a bag of nuts, some blueberries, some water, maybe a Celsius. Yeah, I can understand that. They had like a chicken dinner, like a catered, like the big foil thing out there of chicken. And I was like, bruh, can I like have one? Because that smells so good. They had a chicken dinner. One girl was auditioning. She went for it and she was already killing it. I was like, you didn't have to do this extra because you're doing great, sweetie. She went under the table, up through them, grabbed a piece of chicken, went back under, bit into it. I said, if you wanted their attention, you got it. You also got the food, which, mad respect. But you know that no one else can do that. They were like, we'll give that one. And it shouldn't have to be they give that one, but
Not
the whole Thanksgiving dinner.
That's
so good.
So good.
Okay, so clearly lo-fi comes from a huge background of learning so many different dance styles, which love. You can tell when she dances any style. You can tell that so much of that movement is home in her. Now coming down to SoCal, getting like all these different flavors from not just from Chapman and from core and from classes you've taken. What's your like favorite go-to freestyle dance style?
Okay, ever since like I've seen core do it and I wanted to learn and be doing it so much more in core, whacking has been my complete like favorite style to play around with and to like use in freestyles and just to refine. And it's y'all, whacking and the history of whacking is so fascinating and so much fun. And like when you get those textures and that right techniques that like Kayla drills, it's like it's so nice.
I never thought it would be as fun. I remember when I was on CG, like the first year, and Sonali told me, I want to start whacking. I had no idea what she was about. I had her say, I was like, can you say that again? She's like, whacking. I was like, I'm sorry, one more time? Whacking. I was like, I've never heard of that. And so she really delved into it. She taught me. She taught all of core, and it's become a staple on core for so long. We have to have a whacking section because there's something about it that feels so good. It hurts. You don't breathe. Do we ever breathe?
No, you can literally after like a whacking piece. Thinking what was the recent one we did for Cyberpunk? What's the song called?
Oh, instruction.
Instruction.
Oh.
You could like literally after like everybody finishes instruction, you hear. Nobody breathes.
No one breathes. No one breathes. The day that we were like cleaning it, and I was like, "You guys are so clean. Now I just need you to go for it." And everyone was like, "Okay," and I could collectively hear everyone go. I was like, oh, they're not breathing at all. And silent until the last dip, and everyone was like,
Dude. My audition piece was Gangnam Style, the whacking part. And I was like, oh my god, no, it was so much fun. But like going from Gangnam Style to Swine.
Oh. Swine was quite unkind. Swine was fun.
It was so much fun.
But it was the first time I was like, because I would go through, when Sonali taught whacking, she was really good. She did like the ninja stars around the world. She had a lot of like movement power. I was trying to go for more punking directions. And so it was hard to do because I hadn't choreographed punking directions before. So like I don't even know what it is, but the one where we like switched here.
Yeah.
Everyone with the, like, in rehearsals, every day, one different person, when we would run it, would just be like, bah! And you're like, oh, they didn't get it that time. And then they would kill it the next time and someone else. So the fact that we all got it the day of was literally months of drilling.
We get to like a point in rehearsal when we're coming up at a fast part and we all go, it's just time to dissociate. Because if you think about it too much, you're not going to get it.
That happened this past Tuesday. I taught them a piece. I'm not going to tell you what or for what, because you have to be a patron to find that out. It was really fast. Like when I had them listen to the music, they went, oh. And I was like, honestly, if you guys just go into the middle distance, and all of them just went away and did it, and I said, killing it. That's so good. Good job. And they're like, what did we do? And I said, don't even question it. You did it. It hurts. But you did it.
No, my favorite thing when you were like going over the choreo like the first time before teaching is watching everybody's face. If you just did it, Pam, everybody's face watching you, we all went. We're like, oh god.
And then it's funny because because it was hard to count, so I gave them the rhythm, and everyone got the rhythm right away. And I could tell you guys were nervous. And when we started the music, everyone had like this furrowed brow, and you all kept that furrowed brow. And I was like, what's funny is you're all doing it with the style and everything. Like they're all breathing, but just look so upset the whole time. And I was like, well, you know what? Maybe that's the facial expression we're going for. We're just really upset in the face. Well, it's so much fun. It was so much fun to do.
Yeah.
So whacking's your favorite style. Now that you've danced with core, after like following the crew for so long, who was the very first character that you cosplayed with core?
Umbreon. I had the pleasure to cosplay Umbreon for an Evolution set. Y'all, I was so excited when I got Umbreon. It's like my favorite Evolution. Oh my god. No, that was Umbreon Evolution set, which is it's so much fun and so much joy.
Nazanin just posted about Evolution's era, and I was like, yeah, it was. Like, that was I don't know, we were just having fun. I mean, we're having fun now. It's always like post you look back, because we're always just trying to get the set out, and we enjoy the time while we're doing it. And then you look back and you're like, whoa, that was good job, guys. We did pretty good. Because like I look back at Cyberpunk and I'm like, well, good job, guys. We got through that. Or I look back at Gerudo set. Look at those cosplays. Look at what we made. Good job, guys. And so when we saw Evolution set, I was like, that was your first time performing. That was V's first time performing.
Static's first time.
Static's first time. And Static is also another long-term comrade turned Corsman. So that was crazy. It was like sharing the stage with you guys was serendipitous. Very serendipitous. And it's your guys' year, yours and Static's year, where it's like all these years of core, because not only did I get to share the stage with you after all this time, and Static after all that time, that your first AX with us was when we got to see Sora in person for the first time. This one kept it a secret. I'm like working at the booth, and I hear someone say, when does the booth open? And in my head, I literally went, that sounds like Sora. I'm looking down. But Sora had just posted that he was going to class or going to work.
Yeah, we were trying to keep up the facade for we were trying so hard.
Seeing the story, and Sora's like, I'm going to work or something.
Yeah.
So writing literally in my iPad, and I was like, that's hilarious. I glance up, and I see this person in cosplay. And again, I go, that kind of looks like Sora. Looks back down, and then as it's clicking, Sora goes, you don't recognize me, do you? And I literally went, and like bolted out from behind the booth. Panic. So that was really cool that like in your guys' year, all these years have like come together. It's so cool. It's so cool having you on the crew.
Oh, dude, it was so surreal, especially AX, since we did a reprise of AOT at AX for the 10-year anniversary. I was like thinking to myself, I'm like, I watched this when I was 8 years old, 2014, and 10 years later, I am on stage before doing it.
When we taught Burn, it was funny because I didn't have to teach Lo-Fi. Lo-Fi had to help me remember Burn. But the minute the music goes on, she was like, no, I got it. It's clean, and I have it. Let's go. I was like, well, there you go. And then we had to do that choreo on a stage that didn't fit us.
By the way, go comment on AX's community stage post that you want to see Core because they didn't invite us back.
Yes, if you want to see Core return to the Anime Expo stage, please let them know. Head to their Instagram, Anime Expo on IG, and just let them know. Anyways, so your first character was Umbreon.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, when did we? Okay. What came first? Evolutions came before Spy Family?
Yeah, Evolutions. We did, to be fair, Evolution felt like our favorite dream at the time because we did 5 different versions of Evolutions plus like a version for Fandomaniac set, and then we finally slowed down and went into Spy Family for ALA and Anime Riverside. Yeah, it was.
Oh, okay. Wait, because Evolutions was Anime Pasadena.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did it for LACC, which is in December. Then we switched over to Spy Family in January. And then we did it for Riverside. But then we also, in between those, we did Evolutions for WonderCon.
Yeah.
That's the life of Core. You're literally doing this. You're like, what am I doing at any moment? And that was a span of what, 4 months? And that's how many performances we did. Span of 4 months we did the same set, but not really the same set.
We had props to Kayla, Meadow, and I think Maya, because you three switched roles each time we did it.
Yeah, we did. I think because I was Team Rocket and different versions of Team Rocket, and then Flareon, and then Meadow was Team Rocket and Flareon as well, and then Minnie was Team Rocket and Jolteon. Oh,
And then there was a moment at LACC where it was just you and Sam as Team Rocket.
Yeah. Don't watch that. Don't watch that one. Not because, literally, only, not because of Sam, but mostly me. I don't know what me and Sam were doing.
It was so funny.
Also, I'm pretty sure my outfit, because it was backwards.
Oh yeah, it was.
I'm pretty sure like my boob came out. I'm like almost 100% sure my boob came out. And I was just like, well, I mean, it's out. I can't really do anything about that. Sorry, guys.
It happens.
But everyone else looked great. It was just, Phantomaniac's version, though, that you guys did, the previous day looked great. That video, I watched that video. That looked great.
We had so much like pent up energy because we didn't do opening ceremonies.
Yes. Oh, at ALA?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that one was fun to watch on the side. Because I wasn't, at ALA we did like a small lounge performance. And the crew was dressed in all their Phantomaniacs gear. And they were just doing choreo. And I was on the side just filming them. And it was a party.
It was a party.
It was a party.
It was so much fun.
It was more like everyone just came and watched a rehearsal. Because then we did a spontaneous cipher. Because we had such a longer slot than we expected. So we're like, okay, let's just do a cipher. And then at one point, I went up on stage for the cipher. And then Joseph, who had just been there to like, he wasn't dancing with us at that moment. He just came up and danced, and we just were having fun. And then people started wandering in. They're like, right when we finished the cipher, we're like, okay, we're done. And people are like, oh no, we just saw you guys through the doorway. And we're like, sorry, we're heading out.
We're heading out.
And then we did Spy Family for Masquerade Halftime, and you were one of the spies.
I was one of the spies. Oh, that was so much fun. Spy Family, all the sets have like a huge place in my heart, but Spy Family was so much fun. Y'all, everyone looked so cool, and like hugest props to Trini, Kayla, and Sam, because they are like, they barely leave stage in that set, and it's like, it's intense all throughout it.
Trini was killing it with the sticks. I don't know
my
what
God,
they are.
the needles.
Needles. And Sam's has so much energy when she hits the Anya dance.
Oh my God, dude. Sam's Anya dance.
Sam is Anya. And there's a reason why when Sam's around, I yell, daughter. And I just hear in response, the lowest, father. And that's forever. Forever she'll be daughter, and Trini will always be wife because of that. But it was so fun because you guys were like, it was one of the first times in a long, long time that not everybody on the team was cosplaying. It was just really the three of us. And you guys were like, you were divvied up into spies, into assassins, and then to kids. But it was great because you guys put together your outfits and still, and this is the beauty of Korsman, still not in like a cosplay, still assumed the persona. Because you guys were definitely spies. Walking around. Just spies. And the kids were definitely kids.
Which made the chase scene so much funnier.
Yes, it was Static, V, and Nazanin were part of the kids group. And they just were, I think there was a shot of like them with Anya, and we were coming out of photo shoot, and they were just playing with that giant gumball machine.
Well, first they were in like a whole line doing like a cake.
Yeah, they were trying to like walk across.
And they swapped the gumball machine, and they all just rushed towards it and start beating it.
They, without saying anything, they just were. And then in unison, they just turned to take a picture. No one's prepped to take a photo. They just turned and were like, we were like, oh, okay, I guess someone take a photo. They're going. And that was the beauty of it, is that when you're cosplaying as a group and when you put on a persona, no matter what persona is, you don't have to be the main character, essentially. As a group, you assume that vibe and that characteristic, and it bleeds and it makes it so much fun. Like, that's why it's so much fun when Core rolls, 15 deep into a convention. You come in as a crew. You come in ready to go. And then that summer, who did you play for your very first Anime Expo?
Oh my God. So I played...
Two characters.
I played Blue Liara from Legends of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. And then I played... Oh my God. I had the pleasure of taking up the mantle as Levi for the AX set of AOT that year. And... oh my God. When I found out I was going to be Levi, I was like, oh my God.
So we do character freestyles. Apart from just learning the pieces and see which pieces really sit well with people or which ones they do really well at, we do character freestyles. So that, like, who can personify the character best in dance. that's coming up recently I reposted the reel of Talk Dirty.
Yeah.
And so people are asking, you know, like, why is Levi so tall? Or why does it, and the whole thing is, it's like, it's not about the way you look, it's the way you dance. So we do character freestyles to see who can emanate a character through movement and style. And I didn't really have an idea for Levi. I kind of did. But at the character freestyles, afterwards, I had Trini and Urban tell me who could be, and they, like, just like in the whole roster of Survey Corps, and both of them, first thing they said, they're like, Levi is Levi. And I was like, yeah, because you kind of just were like, you were just Leviing in the corner, not even near where I was sitting and watching. We're like, oh, well, okay, that's a thing. Just Levi. Just Levi.
Levi.
My Levi. My post-time skip Levi. My poor, sad man with no fingers.
No fingers,
face.
half a face.
Half a face. Jeez. You put Levi and Hanji together and they make a whole face. So they're both missing half a face. That's so sad. And then for Gerudo set,
Oh my god.
you got to be B squared.
B squared.
So she was Barta with Buliar.
I was
No,
Buliar.
you were. What? I never called you by your name.
No, we.
Beulah.
Beulah.
I would call you Beulah. I didn't know what your name.
It was so funny too because she would also switch me and Charlene around sometimes. So she's like, Barta, no, Beulah.
They're both B's, and
B squared.
Beulah is the Buliara. Buliara was the bodyguard of Riju in the video game Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. So she's the one that you see the most, but you see her name for like a second, and it's Builiara. So it's not like Barta just rolls off the tongue, but I was like, Beulah. And they were always opposite, so I just said B squared.
Yeah, I love B squared.
B squared. They had the big claymores.
Ugh.
And that was one of my favorite sets only because I know we've been wanting to do Legend of Zelda for a very long time. We hadn't done a video game set in a very, very long time. And that year, Urban was the one who said, I think it's time. We did Legend of Zelda. And I said, I think you're right, because Tears of the Kingdom comes out this summer.
Yo.
Ah, that set. I do love that set. So, having done now sets, having been through ALA twice now. Oh my god, you've done ALA twice, which is always our favorite con. You've done the Anime Expo, you've done San Diego Comic Con, you've done all the small performances in between, you've seen what it's like at photo shoots and whatnot. What's something that you weren't expecting when you came onto Core, having seen and kind of scrutinized Core so closely for years?
Dude, okay. Me and Caleb talked about this a little bit before, but truly, like, you know, like, from, like, outside looking in, that Core puts in a lot of work, like, in what they do with the dancing, the scripting, the structures, the hard work for each performances. What you do not understand is, like, how much even more, like, hard work behind the scenes they do. And also, being part of Core, how flexible you gotta be. Like, choreography, like, stage dimensions can change at, like, a dime of a hat. It could be a runway.
A 2-foot long runway. I'm not kidding you. A 2-foot long runway for 15 dancers.
With stage equipment and band equipment in the back.
Yeah. That, and, like, we can say it as much, but until you've lived it, you're like, oh, yeah, they will really just throw you a curveball on Core. And you have to, because we're dancers, and it's not just for Core, it's like dancers in general, you have to be so adaptable, and you have to be quick. Lo-Fi knows, like, not just quick at the conventions, you gotta be quick in rehearsal. I mean, how much do we learn in one rehearsal? How much do we learn in a month? How much? Oh, bless you.
Bless you. No, we learn so much. We learn about, we try at least to learn 2 pieces each rehearsal. Mm-hmm. And, dude, we work so quickly. Like, I'm thinking back, especially, like, this past year. Like, we work so quickly. Fast.
We've had, I think you guys have learned, like, those 4 pieces plus spellcasters. And then you have opener, closer. 7 pieces in, I think, the last month and a half.
Month and a half.
And we only rehearse on Tuesdays from 8:30 to around 11:50.
Yeah.
And they learn fast. And this one, if you don't know the choreo, Everyone goes, lo-fi? She knows it. She's drilling it. She's got it. She remembers it. Usually I'm like, let's go over this choreo. 5, 6, 7, 8.
And
I'm like, thanks. I don't know which way. That happened to last week when I said, is it to this way? Nope, it's this way. Is it this way? Nope, it's this way.
Or curse. We will always reverse choreo, spellcasters.
Bruh, it felt so comfortable going the other way. And it's not easy choreo to reverse, but even, so Shellen visited us this past Tuesday. He played the original Ida in our Boku no Hero, My Hero Academia set. The king himself, and he even said reversing is a curse on core, and people on core know reversing. I don't know what it is, but for some reason it's really good, because then you get this skill of being able to reverse choreo, so you can do it either the way it's originally choreographed, or you can flip it so it mirrors itself on the other side. However, the downside is you no longer know what the original side is, because they both feel comfortable. And it doesn't help when you do it on stage.
It does not.
And you just, everyone goes this way, and you go that way, and you're like, what?
You're like,
or you're like looking at someone, you're like, we don't look at each other, ever? How did we get here? That's a lovely, lovely thing. Yes, Amanda said, reverse.
reverse.
So, out of all the characters that have been played, okay, 2 questions.
Okay.
Who's your favorite character that you've portrayed for core on stage? And who's been your favorite character from your fellow chorsmen in the sets that you've been in?
Okay. So I think my favorite character that I've been able to portray is probably Levi, just because it's like a whole different like switch for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like Levi's really fun to like get into character with, because I kind of just have to, I put on like my concentration face as like Levi, and you just kind of, you're broody and you're moody and you don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And so that's like really fun to just kind of, as people know me, obviously I'm very bubbly and I love just like yeah, but flipping that switch and being like that commander, it was so much fun.
Which is so funny, because you actually play broody and stoic really, really well.
Really?
Yeah. That's why it's like, because I like know there are certain characters who are like, oh, I really want to be this, and I'm like, but you play broody really well on stage. And I mean, most people are like that. They don't know, and I'm like, yeah. Some people's broody comes off as like nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your broody doesn't come off. It comes off as I'm shooting a laser through between my eyeballs. So that props on Levi.
That is like, I think, I mean, like, sometimes that really surprises me that I'm like, oh, okay, like damn, like I like my Levi. It's just the elevate. It's just the cold stare I had to do into the camera for elevate, and that was, oh my god, yeah, no, and I always cherish like being able to take up that mantle of Levi, so that was great. Favorite character that my fellow chorsman has played
In the sets you've
in the sets I've been in.
Yes.
I mean, we say this all the time, but god damn it, Nazanin as main character, as Evie, it's just so good. Y'all, she is such a good main character. She's so good as Evie. The energy she displays, and she's always full on. She's on top of it. And her energy is so infectious, especially dancing with her in rehearsal and on stage. It's just...
She's the reason why I call her main character is because, I mean, and I've had so many main characters over the years, and they've all been great. Every main character that's been on core has been great. But there's something about Nazanin where it's very much that leader getting everyone to their level dynamic. She's a main character just as a person, but then on stage it's like with Evie, you know, Evie's the original, and then everyone gets more powerful and evolves, but for some reason Evie just holds, yeah, you know, like it's all that power in there, and she like recruits people to her hypeness, and she's the ultimate hype person, and there's something so endearing about her.
It is.
And it's hard when you're a main character, because you don't leave the stage. People are watching you the whole time. So it's very hard to keep up, to not get like stressed out about it, or not to get like some sort of like you know, when you get stressed out, sometimes you'll get a little snippy, or sometimes you'll get a little, you know, and everyone gets that. Literally everyone gets that. The best people get that, but not Nazanin, because she is a main character in real life. There is a shonen about her life.
No, literally.
And she's the main character. And I am an avid, we're on like what, season 16? And I'm in it for the long haul. Because One Piece ain't got nothing on the Nazanin anime.
They do not. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, that is a great one. Okay. Favorite memory that you can recall from rehearsals?
Rehearsals. Oh god. Oh my god, sorry, yeah, I do hate you. Sorry we're like streaming while you're on work.
That's just, oh my god, you hate me. Hi, Sarah.
Oh god. Oh, there's so many little moments I love in rehearsals. I think, I know, I was like...
Oh! Okay, for me, when we were putting together Cyberpunk set, and Lo-Fi plays Cinderella, and we're doing the Queen's part, where there's a section where, if you guys have seen the performance from ALA, there's a section where Trini goes down on her hands and knees so that Joseph can put his foot on her back. So Lo-Fi can unzip his shoe and take off the high heel. The reason that happens is because when we do the lift with Joseph, his heel would have gone straight into Angel's eyeball. And we're like, we know that we can practice it, but just to eliminate the risk, what if we just took the shoe off? Because in the song it says, if the shoe fits. So of course you're like, the song is already about vanity, it's about mirror, mirror on the wall, so they're going with that princess feel. There's only one person that can take the shoe off the queen. It's gotta be Cinderella. So that was the only instruction. It was, take the shoe off and then like dance with it away. And we do the full out run. Lo-Fi doesn't just dance away. She takes it's a huge stiletto drag boot. And she starts whacking with it. She dropped it. And we were like, whoa. She went off. It was my favorite moment. Not at all what I was expecting. I was like I didn't watch the lift. I was like, haha, whoa. That was good. And then you had to come back on stage. So she just rolled like a log, like through her body and rolled like a log across to join the poor unfortunate souls. That was my favorite because you did exactly what was instructed. And I was still surprised. I was like, wow, way to take it. That's that Cinderella dance. Get it, Cindy. That's my favorite rehearsal moment with you.
Similar, because it usually happens. It happens at different moments, but one of the moments happened during the Cinderella whacking. I think one of my favorite rehearsal tidbits is, y'all, my wig during rehearsal does not stay on. I pin that thing to my head. It will always stay on for performance. For rehearsals, it will always be yeeted off.
In like the most dramatic way.
Like I had a point where it came off when Jaeger punched me and I fall to the ground. Eat a moment.
Oh. And Jaeger doesn't really punch her.
Yeah,
he like fake punches.
It's a theater punch. And I just go back, and you see in the video my wig just slide all the way towards Kayla, and Kayla's like.
His face, everyone's face were like, wow, he really knocked you out. He knocked the hair right off your head.
And my favorite thing about whenever I lose a wig, Angel as Sleeping Beauty will always come up to me and be like,
"Bless you.
You have bad hair today again." And I'm just like,
you're like, I swear it was on. It slid across the room.
Dude,
it was good.
Slides.
It was a home run. That was a home run. Okay, those are from rehearsal. What's one of your favorite moments from on stage? Whether it's like a funny moment or just like a good feel-good moment.
Okay, so going back to Swine, in that second part where we're coming on stage, okay, right? Yes. And you know how like the back line, we turn around and we face the back, right?
Yes.
I don't know how. I don't know when. It got to a moment where I somehow flipped myself mid, I don't know.
Face forward?
Yeah, so I was like, so we were doing like this part, flipped and turned to the back, and for some reason, I I only turned and I overturned or I just didn't turn. So I came to more, and you can see it very briefly on my face, and I go. I was like, why am I? And I was looking, and I forget who's next to me, but we make eye contact, and I'm like.
To be fair, this has happened many times on court, and it's because, like we said, your environment can change. This stage is not meant to be a good stage to like enter and exit from, to dance on, to dance anywhere near. So you're already like navigating. It's a carpeted stage. Struggling to get on stage because there's one very narrow stair. And on one side, you can kind of just jump off the stage. On the other side, you have to climb over like Mount Everest
to
get on there. So by the time you get on stage, you're like, oh, what am I doing? So I will give you that. It's a little much. It's a lot of sensory overload. And these sets are long.
They are. Dude, y'all, the stamina workout we gotta do for these sets. Especially Garuda. Oh my god, Garuda. I was like, treadmill.
Yeah. Garuda was rough. Cyberpunk, you guys really had to. I didn't give y'all any breaks for that one. We were just doing a kind of a stamina run on Tuesday, just running through all the pieces. And even then, you're like, because you wanna go full out for every single piece, and you do have to go full out. But it's not about pacing where like you're holding back energy. You just have to gauge. You have to be like, okay, how much do I have to train to get to this part so I can do it full out every single time and not gas out by the time the next piece comes up.
And as dancers, of course, because we forget to breathe, find the moments and allow yourself to breathe through them.
To like take a break, because sometimes, and especially when you're learning a piece, people tend to rush and you're like, no, there's a moment where you can just for like a second, but you're scared because you're like, I have to get to the next move, and I'm like, the next move will be there when the song comes. I promise you'll get there in time. Don't speed ahead, and then eventually it settles in the body and you get there. Mm-hmm. But like we said, you have to do it fast because by next rehearsal. You gotta know it.
Yeah, like
it's already blocking it. And
Kayla always says, practice always, especially in rehearsal, practice full out because you know, especially when you get on stage, you're gonna feel the adrenaline. You're gonna already cut stuff off because you have that hype in you and that adrenaline in you. So it's great, like Petruvian Man, go through your whole range of motion because it's gonna be cut off regardless. Anyways, but practice it that way.
And they do great with it because you have to, if you want to do 100%, you got to train at 200 because you're gonna cut that one extra 100 off anyways, and that's not a bad thing. It's just what you do because you have to exist and live to see another day. So you just train yourself to do that extra bit so that when you take away, you're like, I'm not actually. I did the extra credit. Okay, you just took away my extra credit. The assignment's done. All right. I mean, that's just good for life.
Yeah.
What is something? So something that I do want to credit you for, and I want you to kind of talk on it, is you and Chuck brought a new obsession to core. A painfully time-consuming and all-encompassing obsession. An obsession that hasn't taken over all of core since the days of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. An obsession that has altered personalities and taken over. I am talking about Dungeons and Dragons. So please tell us the story of how our party started with core. Or two parties.
Yeah.
Chuck. Huh?
She's still... When are we going to have the other party campaign?
I told you to help me schedule it. I can't schedule.
I'll look at the schedule.
Wisteria.
Terry.
Terry.
So essentially, I was like, you know, I've never tried DMing before, and I really want to DM like a one shot.
We were supposed to do a one shot. The lies we've been told. And 3 of us had never played D&D before. Mm-hmm. It was me, Joseph, and Meadow.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was like, I gathered around, I was like, wait, which Quizmen want to play D&D, who's interested, and then I arranged it so I had 3 people who knew a little bit more what they're doing so they could help guide the 3 new players. And we got to Kayla's apartment, we were sitting down, we have it all set up. My patrons, some of my patrons were there for this, and we get started, and I'm like, okay, here, I lay down, I'm like, here are the basics of D&D, here's what to expect. You know what? This was session 0. It was not supposed to be the one-shot day. And I was like, okay,
this was supposed to establish for the one shot.
And I was like, okay, we are gonna do some improv exercises just to get so you can get me more familiar, more comfortable, like playing as your character in these scenarios. And I started the Core Dance Crew campaign that has lasted. We're at session
17.
No,
8?
more. I was like, it's like 20, here. Right? Our next one's 20.
Me and Chuck are the note takers, and I take much pride in being the note taker. So I'm gonna check my notes.
21. It's either 20 or 21. I know we just passed like.
Oh, we're on 20. We just finished 19.
Damn. Okay, yeah, we are on session 20.
Bruh. Bruh.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, so it started off of that, and just from there, it evolved. Like, I have a bunch of dice gremlins.
Well, Joseph's a dice dragon, let's be honest.
Yeah, he is.
He's
a dragon. Oh my god.
He's a dragon.
He's a dragon.
Like, you know how dragons hoard mountains of treasure? That's just, he doesn't hoard it, he'll share it with you, but he just has a mountain of dice. A mountain. First only to Chuck, who just bought dice yesterday.
He rolled a nat 20 with those dice.
Okay, you know what's not fair is Chuck always rolls a nat 20. But in life, there is always balance. So if someone always rolls a nat 20, someone must always roll a natural critical fail. One guess who that is. It's my life.
No, it's so unfortunate. Watching it in session. No, like I watch it happen, and I'm like in just utter disbelief. I'm like, the universe has it up for Kayla and her rolls. I'm like, how is it possible to roll the amount of lows that you roll?
The day that I was getting 19s and 20s was shopping day.
Shopping day.
Shopping day. She was rolling great. But when there's like danger and the threat of demise, it's a 1 across the board. And then every now and then the gods throw a 2 in there just so that I don't get bored with my death.
And then there was time you got a 0 because she got a nat 1, and it was athletic. So she has, and as a tiefling, you have negative 1
modifier. So I rolled a 1 plus my negative 1. I rolled a 0. Why? What? But you know what's great is that, so Lo-Fi is our DM. This is our first time DMing. I also got the joy of doing a one-shot with you where Chuck was our DM.
Yes.
And I got to play with alumni Sammy, Nifa, and that was super fun, to the point where now we're going to probably do another one with Sam, Michelle, Lo-Fi, and Chuck. But having D&D, D&D has always been there. We know this. It's always been there. It's always been on the outskirts, and something that I've always heard, and people on core have always heard, and it never really infiltrated. Like, it wanted to, it never did. And through Lo-Fi and Chuck, they have gotten, this very long-standing campaign that has infiltrated me, Joseph, Meadow, and Static's lives, to the point where we interact as our characters. It's inevitable. And we have, scenarios where we're like, oh, you are Nyx, and you are Cove, and you are Terry, and you're definitely Isaac. And I'm just Peak, who's paranoid always. And it's great because then now I'm excited for the other group's campaign. I'm so excited because that's going to be Manders and Sam and John and Alan and you. And Meadows and NPC in there, right?
Yeah.
And then I know...
Oh, and V.
And V.
Yeah.
V's in there. And I know Angel and Minnie have been working on their D&D characters.
Mm-hmm. We created characters for them, and so whenever they have a chance to pop in, I always allow them to make a little character appearance, and they're so much fun to just. It's such an all-encompassing core. It's like so much. I mean, a funnest thing to talk about, to like just geek about with each other.
Yes.
And it's like especially like. We did like a D&D day at WonderCon where people were like soliciting, and that was just so much fun because people like made their characters, and they had so much fun like making up a character, like
we did it for San Diego Comic-Con last year, and we got stopped more as our D&D original characters than we did as like Gerudo set.
We got stopped so much time.
Yeah.
Poor Kayla. Parents would just leave their kids with me.
Just leave their kids with me. And I'm like, I also look, I mean, I got horns, I'm purple, and they would just put their kids next to me and be like, okay, and you know, I love kids, so I'd be like, hi, am I babysitting? Like, or is this a picture? What's going on? And they would just hug me, and I'd be like, hi, and then we would just chat for a bit. I think a picture was taken,
yeah.
And then the kids would just be gone. And I'd be like, okay, anyway, so we were filming this thing. Can you guys go back in your positions so I can finish filming it?
Matt, a huge thing, and you're going to see some of it later, too, after this summer, that I'm, like, super stoked about, but I want to, like, amend and applaud, like, Kayla for. Kayla's, like, and everything, but Kayla's, like, cinematography and the way she outlines, like, her videos and her concepts that she wants is so fascinating, and the way she edits them it's so good, and she has it all plotted out, and she knows exactly what she's doing, and it looks so freaking epic. Like, even like the little clip like that you made for us at SCCC, I was like, god damn, I was like, okay, camera,
we filmed it, and then I was in line to take a Yu-Gi-Oh photo, and I edited it in line and then sent it to them while they were at Starbucks. I was like, here guys, look at this, and they're like, did you just do this now? And I was like, yeah, it's a long line, it's taking a while. I got bored.
So good.
Yay, I'm excited. Thanks, Lo-Fi. For those who knew from Immortal Bond, I originally thought, this is what's kind of ironic. I originally was going to go into filmmaking, be a director. My dream school was Chapman. This one. My dream school was Chapman, to go into the film school. I applied for the film school, but I knew I didn't have a lot of film in high school. I didn't have a lot of things for it. And film, you really go into that school when you go later on in your years. But to get into Chapman, I was like, you know what? My dance teacher was like, go for a dance major, because that's where you're at.
Yeah.
I was able to get the application in. I got a dance audition with them. I didn't make it. Guys, I wasn't good enough. And that broke my heart. But it's okay, because now I'm here. And I just get really excited when people say Chapman, because I was like, it's a good school. You need to be talented and really bloody smart to go to Chapman. I'm not kidding you. As someone who had to do the application and went to the campus and everything, you gotta be top tier to go to Chapman. So mad props over here.
Thank you.
When you said Chapman, I was like, what the fudge-a-rama? Are you kidding me? And then she's like, yeah, I do extracurriculars, I put in the dance club, and I do all this, and I'm working on my thesis for my psychology. And I'm like, yeah, you are. I know you are. Look at you. DMing and working on your thesis, being in a dance club. Barda with a claymore. So that is your Corsman, your comrade, the original comrade turned Corsman. Lo-Fi, anything you want to say to anyone about just from becoming a comrade, turning to a Corsman, your journey, what's it been like, whether it's good, bad, evil, neutral, chaotic, whatever. Anything about your experience that you want to share with everyone.
Well, I mean, comrades and patrons, like, you tell us all the time how much you appreciate us. We appreciate you guys, like, so much. So much. It's
literally a living example. This is why we appreciate you, because look what comes out of it.
And, oh my god, no, like, interacting with you guys, and just, like, it makes our day, and we're so glad it makes your day, and we genuinely, like, from the bottom of our hearts, love you guys so much and the support that you all give us. And y'all are freaking sick and awesome. Like, I know, like, freaking Sora, for as long as I have, like, the reaction. I remember watching his reaction videos, or, like, seeing him edit his reaction videos to you guys.
You, patrons, you have to know, we talk about you guys
all the time.
Like, we fangirl over
literally
everyone. Like, if Bolt shows up, we're like, ah! When Scott showed up.
Scott, we love you so much. Oh my god.
The heartbreak that I didn't get to meet Scott in person. No. They texted me when Scott was at ALA, and I was sick at home. That's why I didn't go, because I didn't want to get everyone else sick. And I was just at home, just crying. I was so sad. They're like, Scott left a book for you. And I was like, it's a Welsh book.
Oh my god, yeah. No. All of you. And then Liza, like, you and your edits recently, we've been fangirling all the edits you've been doing.
Everyone's been sending them to each other. Like, we're not all posting on our stories.
Literally.
We're like sending it, like, have you seen this? Yes, I just posted on my story. What do you mean?
No, but we appreciate you so much. I mean, like if you feel like you don't, you do. We remember you every time. Like if you give us just like we might not know your real name, but if you give us your username, we're immediately like,
yeah,
y'all, they're here.
You guys are like YouTube content creators, celebrities to us.
Yeah. No, seriously.
Literally. Quite literally.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. We do appreciate you guys. Clearly, if you ever show up, we're just gonna fangirl. And eat spicy noodles and talk all day at a con. Sora, I've been trying to find, I was just telling Lo-Fi today, I could not find, since AX of last year, spicy noodles like the ones that we shared, and I'm upset because I didn't even get to finish the one that we had because we had to go in early, even though we didn't need to go in early for tech. We need to get spicy noodles. We just need to get spicy noodles. That's what happens.
And patrons, if you ever feel awkward interacting with us, don't. It's okay. I've been exactly where you, but guilty admission of me when I was con-radding patrons, especially during like the Zoom years where we did like y'all.
The Zoom years when you used to be in your cool studio with your cool hair, and we were like, why does Lo-Fi cooler than all of us? Like, what the heck is going on? And she's just there. She's like, I look like a K-pop star. What's going on with you guys? And we're like, what?
Oh my god, no. I am guilty of mention whenever y'all would just talk in Zoom or just comment, I would be so giddy and I'd be like, screenshot. So I think I still have it. I have like a folder in my photo album where it's literally dedicated to Core Zoom. And it's just screenshots of y'all's messages. And I would, like, if I remember having a bad day, I would just look at it and I'm like,
To be fair, they all do that to each other now.
It's true. It's very true.
Coursemen screen each other. What? Screen each other? Screenshot each other now. That is something that happens at the moment. So, fans of each other, fans of you guys. On that note, if you ever want to become a patron, you can find us on Patreon at the Core Dance Crew. We are going to do our announcement of our sets very soon. Because Lo-Fi is going to put that up.
Patrons, it should be coming out like this weekend.
It was, I don't want to say anything, but the process of which it happened was amazing. No context. That roll. We just warning, you're going to hear a lot of screaming. In the very beginning.
No, literally, I'm putting like a thing at the beginning that's like audio warning. We scream so much.
So, if you would like to become a patron, as low as $2 a month, that's the first tier. And then we're going to do a hangout too, because patrons, ooh, we got to chat, yeah. What is that?
It's my Zoom. They were like, the chat's like, show us the receipts. And I'm like,
receipts?
Oh, y'all, when you first announced auditions, like for like Sam and Charlene's crew, I took so many screenshots of like the audition process and like what y'all were posting.
Oh yeah.
Because I was like, I will make that next audition.
I think our last auditions were last year.
Yeah, it was
right at the end of summer.
Right.
That was Jaeger, Mello, and Alan's year.
Yeah.
Only got 3. Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't know if we have auditions every year. It's kind of like a Russian roulette of when we have auditions. So,
yeah.
I mean, if we do, follow us on Instagram, because then you'll find out when we have auditions. And we'll announce when we perform next.
Hopefully, AX.
Hopefully AX.
Someone
Anyway.
screenshot my screen. Don't do that. You don't need to expose me even more.
Screenshotception. So thank you guys for tuning in this week. This was the first, like I said, of many interviews with Korsman. I'm probably going to finagle another one of them here because it's more fun when you guys are in here. I was like, maybe we'll have to do ones like videotape. Then that means I gotta edit it, and I got other stuff I gotta edit, like performance videos, because I never sit here. I'm so bad.
We're both really bad. Yeah, sometimes what Korsman will just text at the minute of like 5 a.m. and then we all respond and we're like, why are you up? No, why are you up? Okay, well collectively we're all up so nobody can judge. But what are you doing?
I promise you, I'm doing something for core. It may not be something you see, but I promise you I'm doing something work related. I'm not just farting in my chair. Well, I'm probably doing that too.
It's a good question. Is there anywhere else we can go full Karen mode on AX for you guys other than that one IG post?
A lot of times they gauge a lot. So the thing is that, and I don't knock them for it. SPJA really wants to get more commercial, and they want to get bigger names from Japan over. So it's the demand. Any way to show that there is a good demand for core, because a lot of times people just comment on our stuff, our YouTube videos, our Instagram. So the only way is to either like fill out a survey from SPJA saying like, either that they always have like, how was the con this year? You would tell them there, or you could, I mean, it's weird, but they've said it before too. DM their Instagram.
Yeah.
Which is weird. I don't like doing that personally. The easiest way is on their IG. If you don't send, you can send an actual email to Anime Expo from their website or SPJA from their website. That does go directly to their information and it gets divvied out from there. So, I mean, if you want to go full Karen mode, you can do the Karen email mode by all means. Again, this is just, we didn't get invited back, and we started Community Stage back in 2015, and we would just like to return, because if we could return, we have a great set in the works that the patrons will find out about. I mean, either way, we'll find it. We have venues to perform that set. However, we would like to take it to AX again. Yeah. So, thank you, Lo-Fi, for interviewing.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for live streaming. You're going to bring it in because we are going to go on and have a scary movie night with some Korsmen. Mainly because my whole goal is to just get Chuck to watch scary movies because it makes her sad inside.
She is so jumpy, y'all. So like,
so scared.
Watching horror movies is so funny.
And when I watch horror movies, Chuck knows I'm not really scared. So I picked a horror movie that I don't quite remember, but I remember scared the bejesus out of me. So I want to watch her watch this scary movie.
I am upset, but willing to do it for the hangouts and the good vibes. Okay, bye.
And then we're going to play Lorcana. Woo! So just good times. Thank you. You want to bring it in?
Yeah, bring it
Chuck,
in.
come here. Oh.
Get in here.
Get in here.
Get in here.
Ready?
Sonic on 3. 1, 2, 3.
What did we say yesterday? I didn't say Sotomato.
No.
Or not yesterday, Tuesday.
No, Tuesday. What did we say?
Hackers.
Hackers. Hackers.
Meadow's afraid of hackers, guys.
Oh.
There's no context needed. That's just a fact.
Yep.
Meadow's afraid of hackers.
I love
All
that.
right.
I'm afraid of hackers.
Look
over here.
Terror. When we bring her on, remind me to ask Meadow about her fear of hackers. All that to say, peace up, A-Town down. Ski bop, ski bop, ski bop, ski ding 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 ding, ski bop, ski bop.